Scientists found that mushrooms talk using electrical impulses that spike when fungi come into contact with food sources or potential dangers. Before we start, please like the video, share and subscribe. Thank you. When Lewis Carroll wrote Alice's Adventures in Wonderland in 1865, he imagined bizarre scenarios like smoking cats and talking mushrooms. While none were scientifically supported at the time, fresh study demonstrates that mushrooms actually interact with one another and have a vocabulary of up to 50 words. According to a research published in the journal Royal Society Open Science, these creatures are nature's most surprising chatterboxes. The study focused on 4 kinds of mushrooms and was led by Andrew Adamotsky, a professor at the University of the West of England's Unconventional Computing Laboratory. Adamotsky noticed that the electrical impulses produced by mushrooms were obviously boosted in some instances. Multiple mushrooms are often formed from the same mycelium, which is a root-like network of filaments akin to neurons in the human body. Electrical impulses sent by one mushroom pass through mycelium to other mushrooms growing in the same network. While the proverbial internet of the forest is impressive on its own, Adamotsky has now quantified the language of mushrooms for the first time, with equally impressive results. Assuming that fungus employ electrical activity spikes to communicate, we show that distributions of fungal word lengths resemble those of human languages, he stated. We discovered that the amount of fungal vocabulary may be up to 50 words. However, the core vocabulary of most often used terms does not surpass 15 to 20 words. Adamotsky concentrated on 4 specific species to test his idea that mushrooms have a recognizable language: enoki, split-gill, ghost, and caterpillar. Adamotsky implanted microscopic electrodes into the substrate, or the surface on which each type of fungus grew, to measure their electrical output. The split-gill mushroom produced the most amazing outcomes. Adamotsky was astounded to discover a dramatic rise in the mushroom's electrical impulses when the hyphae filaments that made up its mycelium came into touch with foreign bits of wood, implying it was warning other mushrooms in its feeding network. We don't know if there's a direct link between spiking patterns in fungus and human speech, Adamotsky explained. Perhaps not. On the other hand, there are considerable commonalities in information processing among different classes, families, and species of living substrates. I was only looking for a way to compare. Adamotsky proposed that these communicated messages are no different from wolf howls. Wolves, according to National Geographic, vocalize their whereabouts on a frequent basis for a number of reasons, including alerting their pack of impending predators or the location of prey. When Adamotsky recognized that these spikes in electrical output occurred in distinct clusters, he began statistically separating them. He discovered that these clusters not only had a vocabulary of up to 50 words, but that their fungal word lengths were astonishingly comparable to those of the English language. Adamotsky discovered that each fungal word was 5.97 letters long on average, compared to 4.8 letters for English words. While Adamotsky is certain that these increases in electrical output are not random, he is also aware that additional study is required. There is another alternative. They are saying nothing, Adamotsky explained. Because propagating mycelium tips are electrically charged, a spike in the potential difference is detected when the charged tips pass through a pair of differential electrodes. Other scientists are dubious of the study's conclusions as well. According to Dan Beber, a mycologist at the University of Exeter, we're still a long way from understanding what these creatures are saying. Though fascinating, he said, the interpretation as language is slightly overeager, and would require significantly more investigation and verification of important ideas before we see fungus on Google Translate. Thank you for watching.